Let's see, are we locked and loaded? Okay. Let's do this. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. I'm Kelly. Today we are going to be taking a break from the travel videos I have been doing recently and just do a little bit of a mental health check and make sure everything's going okay and just kind of talk about what's been happening, what I'm doing, how it's going. So yeah, let's get started. So as many of you may know, I have been living out of my car. I drive a Jeep, so it's not huge, and traveling around for the last couple of weeks. It's been interesting. So basically, I was living in Orlando for the last 5 years, and I was in school and I worked for Disney, and then I graduated and I quit working for Disney and I went home for a couple weeks, and our landlord had actually thrown us out of our house right after we moved into it, like just a couple weeks later. They had issues, but I ended up packing everything up that I owned, that was mine, and put it in my car, and I went home to my parents for a couple weeks, and then I was headed back to Orlando. And right before I got there, I was like, why am I going to Orlando? There's like nothing there that I need to do. I can, sorry, there's a guy walking a dog right outside my window and it's making me a little bit nervous. So I was headed back to Orlando and I was like, I'm done with school. I don't work for Disney. Everything I own is in the back of my car. Why am I going to Orlando? Let's just travel. I have been wanting to travel for so long. I lived out of my car for a couple months over the summer, last summer, and all I wanted to do was just like go places, and I couldn't because I was stuck with school. I had classes every Tuesday and Thursday, so I couldn't get away from Orlando for more than a couple days. So I was like, this is it. I've been talking about wanting to do this forever. I've been thinking that like maybe when I'm done with school I could figure it out. Here I am on the road. Everything I own's already in the car. I don't have a place. I'm done with school. I can pretty much go wherever I want. So let's go. And so I did. I just hit the road and I started in Florida, and I hit like the Daytona Beach, Ormond Beach area, and then I headed up the A1A. I stopped in Flagler Beach, St. Augustine, and Jacksonville. Then I headed up through South Carolina. I stayed in Brunswick and I stopped on St. Simon's Island, and then I headed up to Savannah, where I spent a couple days in Savannah, and that was amazing. I really loved Savannah, and so I spent a couple extra days there, and then I headed up into South Carolina, which is where I am now, getting ready to film another fun video for you guys. But first I wanted to do this one and just kind of talk about how things have been going. So I just got to South Carolina 2 days ago, and I have been staying kind of in the outskirts of the next stop. I don't want to give it away, although a lot of you can probably guess which one what you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I am in school. I am a full-time student at the University of Florida, which, oh my goodness, that is no joke, going full-time. My teachers at my last school at Valencia in Orlando were like, don't go full-time. They have kids that were going there, and they were like, it's heavy workload, you're gonna be overwhelmed. Start with like 2 classes, 3 if you want to be ambitious, don't do 4. And then I talked to the advisor at University of Florida. She kind of said the same thing and kind of directed me towards some easier classes to mix with the harder classes, but I'm stubborn and hard-headed, and I was like, no, I want to take these classes because that's what I'm here for, and that's part of my major, and it's what interests me. And so I signed up, but actually one of them turned out to be fairly easy, and the other 3 are really heavy. And I have like 12, 13, 14 hours of homework almost every single day. I get about 1 day a week where I don't have homework assignments, and then maybe another day where I can kind of spend half the day, and then I can go out for like the evening and do something. The rest of the time I'm pretty much doing homework. And so that has pretty much consumed most of my traveling. Is just, I get to a place and I look for a Starbucks, a Panera Bread, Firehouse Subs, I don't even really care, like just someplace where I can get something to eat and spread out on a table and just put my headphones on and study and write papers and take quizzes and whatever assignments that are due that need to be done, just, you know. So, and I will literally just, like, I'll spend like a couple hours at one place, then I'll find another place close by, and I'll just like spend the entire day doing homework. And then I just need to find a place to sleep at night. And that has been a really big challenge, is finding sleeping locations when you're in a new location where you're not like familiar with things and you don't know where is safe and where is a little bit more dangerous and where it might be okay to park and where you might get towed. You know, it's a lot to try and figure out. So my immediate go-tos, as I've talked about before, are always going to be rest areas off of the interstate. At least here in the southeastern region of the United States, the rest areas seem to be pretty lax about overnight parking. So I will park at those if they're available. And there's usually a lot of other people sleeping overnight at the rest areas too, like people hopping off the interstate at like 1 or 2 in the morning to take a couple-hour nap. So I don't like stand out in that kind of environment. I just kind of slip right into the row of cars where everybody's sleeping, and I feel pretty safe there. And there's also restrooms right there, so that's convenient. My next go-to would be Walmart. Walmart is hit or miss. If it's right off the interstate, chances are they allow overnight parking. There'll be truckers, there'll be RVs, there'll be cargo vans, minivans, people in cars, you know, everybody. There's tons of overnight sleepers if it's a Walmart right off the interstate that allows overnight sleeping. If you go further away from the interstate, it's less likely that they're gonna allow it. And it can be hit or miss if you can get away with it. So that's what I'm finding. Luckily, I'm in a pretty popular car. You see these everywhere. So I kind of blend in, and I'm not as conspicuous when I'm staying overnight in a parking lot, but I still don't want to wake up to the cops knocking on my window in the middle of the night and my dog barking and dealing with like getting my car searched or anything crazy like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at as far as sleeping. I am in a pretty safe Walmart parking lot right now, and I'm getting ready to head out, so we'll see where I end up. But yeah, so sleeping has been a little bit of a challenge, finding a safe place, but I've made it work so far, and there hasn't been any major issues. A couple times I did roll up to a Walmart, and they were like, there were signs everywhere that said no parking, but there were RVs parked there, so I was like, maybe, and I'd go in and I'd ask, and they'd be like, no, the cops will make you leave in the middle of the night, but those people are just risking it. They might get away. And so it's like kind of iffy. I don't know. In those cases, I just try to find the next closest rest area. So anyway, so I've been doing this for about 2 weeks now. And I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's actually been fun. I've seen a lot of cool places. I'm not having trouble like sleeping per se, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Everything seems to be working out. It's going according to plan. I haven't had any major issues or snafus. I did lock my keys in the car twice. So one time I was at a car wash, locked my keys in the car, like I turned around and the door just like shut, and I guess the lock button got hit while I was vacuuming or something. So I had to call roadside assistance. So I have roadside assistance. So they came out and unlocked the car. The other time I was at the beach and locked my keys in the car while I was filming a video for you guys. So you can go back. You may have already seen it. If you haven't, it's up there somewhere. And luckily I had the window cracked, and I was able to find a stick on the ground that I was able to like get in and unlock. Actually, I couldn't unlock the door with the stick because I had locked the car with the key. And when you lock it with the key fob, you can't unlock it using the button on the door. But my key fob was like right here in the passenger seat, and the window on that side was down a little bit too, because my dog had been in the car, so I had the windows cracked. And so I was lucky I was able to stick the key in, the stick in the window and reach the key fob and hit the unlock button. And that's how I got in the car that time. But those are probably like the biggest issues that I've had so far. Wi-Fi has been a big issue. A lot of places I do not get a good Verizon signal. I'm on Verizon, so I can't tether my computer to do my schoolwork, and so I go to places like Starbucks or Panera Bread or Chick-fil-A or whatever I can find. And sometimes in these rural areas, I'm finding that even places like Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Panera Bread don't have good Wi-Fi. They have free Wi-Fi, you can go in and use it, but it like doesn't work. It's slow. I'm like, the whole town has bad Wi-Fi, a couple places that I've been, and so that's really been a struggle because I'm a traveling college student and I have assignments due every single day, and I can't not have access to the internet. That's a requirement for me to be able to do this. So what else did I want to talk about? Let me look at my list, hold on. My dog, let's talk about my dog. She is a trooper, let me tell you. She's hanging out back there in a bunch of blankets right now. I just kind of hung this up to like block off the mess, but maybe I will show you guys. She's been really good. The weather has been so good where I am. It's in the low 60s and 50s during the day, and then the 40s and 50s at night. So we've been perfectly fine in the car. I'm able to like go into places and leave her parked in a shady spot on an overcast day, and the temperature is good and she's good in the car. Or I can take her in with me. I do take her in with me a lot. And this is what she does at home anyway. She just curls up in my bed and she comes out to go potty and goes back and curls up in my bed, and comes out to eat, goes back and curls up in my bed. That's all. She's like a cat. So she's curled up back there right now. She's happy. She hasn't even really been an issue. She's a great companion. Perfect dog for this kind of thing, I think. Also, she barks when people come up to the car, which I used to hate, but now I love it. And I give her a little treat every time because I want her to alert me if she sees somebody approaching the vehicle. And so that's a really handy tool to have. And what else did I want to talk about? Oh, my bed. My bed. Am I sleeping comfortably? Like I said, it does get down into the 40s and 50s at night. So I'm not, actually it hasn't been that bad. When it gets down to the low 40s, you definitely start to feel it. But I have like these giant bags of clothes back here and they hold heat. So if I get my car good and toasty before I shut it off and crawl into bed, it stays pretty warm for a while. And like 3 or 4 in the morning, it might start to get really cold. But I hardly even notice it because I have a lot of blankets and stuff, so it's not a real big issue. But yeah, I have 7 inches of memory foam back there. I have a 4-inch memory foam mattress, which is like a firm memory foam mat, and then I have a 3-inch memory foam mattress topper on top of that, which is more of a soft memory foam, and it's great. It's really comfortable. It's basically 7-inch memory foam mattress. And I love it, and I sleep very comfortably on it, and it kind of curls up on the sides because it's a twin, which is a little bit bigger than the space that I have. So it almost makes like a nest, and I have like these hard, like where the wheel well pops out back there and stuff, and then I have all my bags of clothes on the other side, and the way that the memory foam mattress topper curls up around it makes it very comfortable. If I like move around, I don't hit the bags, I don't hit the wheel well, it's all soft. It's almost like a little nest. I call it my nest, and I love it. I feel like a little kid in a clubhouse or something, but that's what it feels like. It's like my little spot, and it's super comfortable. My dog loves it, so I haven't had any problems with the comfort side of sleeping. But yeah, so I'm in a new place today, and I'm getting ready to go explore and make a video for you guys. So I'm going to close this one out, and thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thanks for sticking with me. Oh, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I'm going to make a Q&A video about how I'm traveling, how I'm living in the car, all of that. Leave your questions down below, and I will make a video answering all of them. I've thought about doing a live Q&A. Let me know also if that's something you guys would be interested in. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.